Our viewers, you can send your messages on the number 653-99-6877. Let me read this message. That's a great program and lesson to many. Focus and the presence of God is all we need. I'm impressed. Johnson from Dongo. Okay, let's write on. Producer, may you put on the pictures of our guests, please? So, may you narrate to us your life story, looking at the pictures that will be coming on. May you narrate to us your life story as the producer is prepared to put to us the pictures. Narrate to us your life journey. Madam Producer, okay, yes. Narrate to us your life story, sir.
Wow.
Who is that?
Yeah, that's my father and my mother.
Oh, the people who made you to become who you are today.
Yeah, and I want to say that they are still alive.
Wow.
And they are praying for me.
Wow.
And I have this message, what I always tell young people, obey your father and your mother.
So that your days will be long on earth. Next picture. Producer, next picture. Let's try to be fast with the pictures, please. Okay, what's that, sir?
Yeah, those are some of the things we do in the performing and visuals department, some of the artworks.
Wow, so creative.
Yeah.
What does that symbolize?
Yeah, these are sketches. We have our drawings.
Wow.
Yes, we have.
So great.
Yeah.
And how can art make people happy, sir?
You know, art is life. Art is life, and it's been so rewarding to some of my students who are into this. They already start paying their school fees while in the university. They pay
so excellent. They gain employability.
Yes, and some of these jars, some of these flower jars.
They are done by your students in the University of Buea?
And so,
just great. Just great.
The wood sculpture.
Wow.
So seen by one of my students.
So you buy the equipment?
Yeah, we have everything for us.
The materials?
Yes.
And they engage them?
Yes, this is one of my students, Tiafak Tonga.
Wow.
He's a painter. He's already making so much money.
Wow.
For graduation.
Wow, life skills.
Yeah, the students, we train them, we give them just life skills.
More practical works.
Hands-on.
Hands-on activities, experiential learning.
Yes, these are objects. You would think that they are cups, they are what we call their drinks. You know, these are.
Wow.
They are carved with wood.
Wow, just great, just great.
For decoration.
Just great. Next, please. Narrate to us, sir.
Yeah,
narrate to us.
Students with one of the Nigerian producer and actor.
What's the name?
His name is John.
Wow, you are doing great.
He came to visit the students and gave them a talk.
Wow, just great, just great. How can you make the artwork more prominent in Cameroon?
No, we have I want to say that in the art world today, the film and theater industry, most of our graduates have already part of the
Cameroon movie. Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh, this is Professor Emeritus Kashim Tala.
Oh, very great professor. Great professor.
He was my lecturer in UB First Batch in 1993.
Wow.
I was his course delegate. And we became friends in 93, and we are still friends today.
Okay, your teacher now is your friend.
He is now my friend.
So Prof is telling us that we should work hard in life.
Mentor.
Wow, a mentor, a model to you. Who is that?
Yes, this is a young teacher in Seka, when I was recruited in Seka Baptist College in 1998. No, yeah.
So you have taught in secondary school?
2008, I was recruited to teach in Seka Baptist
So you taught in secondary school before teaching the university. That experience is great.
So I was sharing a meal with
Wow. Solidarity.
Girls. There should be women, they are all women.
Wow, solidarity.
They are all women.
It's good,
Yeah.
it's good.
Oh, wow.
Good to create that environment.
Still Seka Baptist College. When I made it into ENS,
wow,
the students stood by me and gave me a farewell.
It seems as if you created a positive climate with your students.
Wow, when I came back after leaving Economan to visit them, they were like, wow.
Wow.
He was sharing a meal again with
That's
them.
just wonderful.
It was so fun. It was fun, teaching in Seka.
Because in those days, our teachers would make us fear them. But now, I like that.
I used to eat with them.
Wow.
And it was great.
That's good. That's good. Who is that? Your family?
My father came to visit.
Are you married?
Yeah.
How many children?
My wife, 5 children.
Wow, just great.
Yeah, 4 girls and a boy.
Wow, beautiful children.
Wow, they having a swell time with their granddad.
Wow. Next, please. What was that?
Yeah, this is an art power work.
It symbolizes what, sir?
Yeah, this is a sculpture.
Wow.
By carving one of our students.
Wow, just great. Who are those big professors?
Wow, from the left you have Chief Professor Nola Lembong.
Oh, what a great professor.
Yeah, he's now the
Deputy Vice Chancellor.
In charge of teaching,
Wow.
professionalism and IT.
Wow, he's a great professor, a gentleman, and also an intelligentsia in art, in literature.
You have Professor Bangwana.
Wow.
Professor Binam Bikoy. Yeah,
wow, Professor Noah Lembong again, the great professor.
Do you remember that was the jury of my master's thesis?
Wow, what was that theme?
Yes, I worked on adapting the oral tales, to plays.
Where were you in that library there?
It was Essen Duisburg in Germany.
In Germany?
Yes,
you were doing your PhD research there?
I was finalizing my PhD research.
Wow. Was it scholarship or you did it alone?
I had the grant from the state. The state gave me some
The
money.
Cameroon government?
The Ministry of Higher Education gave us
subvention,
a kind of grant called mobility to help us to complete.
Where were you there with those whites?
This was in 2009 in China during the Beijing conference.
That's excellent, sir.
Eco-criticism and ecological.
Isimasi, you are the only black there. What happened?
Yes, I was the only black from Africa in that group. And I remember during the closing ceremony, I was asked to give a toast.
Wow.
If we have to talk about climate change in the world, without climate change in Africa, protection of the environment in Africa, then we have to go.
So how have you been able to secure the roadmap of research in Africa?
Yes, I want to say that I have gone into what we call adaptation.
Good. Who is that gentleman?
That is Professor P.K. Vincent Titanji.
Wow.
He was our Vice Chancellor in 2008 when I was recruited.
Wow.
This was one of his, what we call New Year
wishes.
And he was extending a hand of fellowship to me as the new coordinator of performing.
Who are those in that crew?
These are my students who won medals.
Just excellent.
During the Festival of Arts and Culture.
Wow.
And who came to present their medals and their trophies to
the faculty, the dean. Okay, Professor Noah Lembong. By then he was dean. A great positive trajectory.
Who is vice dean in charge of students, and Professor Tekechas, who is vice dean in charge of studies.
Next, please.
These are works by students and staff.
Next, please. Your family?
No, my students, one of my students, and
the Faculty of Arts, University of Buea. Wow.
Yeah, it's my father, my son, and my son.
How old is your father?
Yeah, my father is 90 today.
Okay.
90. That's my son, who is a musician too.
Wow, your son is a musician. Yeah. Family of arts. Family of artists. Family of artists. Next, narrate to us.
My students who were celebrating the medal we won during the last University Festival of Arts and Culture.
You are doing a great job. You are doing a great job in the university. May you keep moving to higher heights.
Oh, this is a great chief of
Bukwango.
The chief of Bukwango.
Wow, just great.
We went to do what we call Theater for Development.
Wow.
And I had to meet him to introduce the students and to introduce the project. So we had a good time. He took us out and we did a lot as far as Theater for Development is concerned.
Wow. Next picture, please.
This is the chief of Bukwango with the students who did the project. They find the graduating students of 2020. This is graduation batch.
Oh.
Who did the Theater for Development project with in the village of Bukwango.
Next picture, please.
Yeah, this is when I was formally installed as the new pioneer head of department of the performing.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Next picture.
Yeah, this you have the staff of the Faculty of Arts who came to celebrate with me
during your installation.
During my installation.
As head of department.
As head of department. That is
visual and performing arts.
Yes, still the chief of Bukwango.
Wow.
He's a friend. He's an actor. He's someone who I used theater to develop his village.
Wow, just great. And theater work brings about unity, right?
Yes, theater does a lot in terms of peace and everything.
Everything. Okay, next picture.
This is Baptist High School.
When you started as a student?
Yeah, no, I went there to do just high school. I was a prefect at the time.
Wow.
It was a group of prefects. I was works and farm prefect.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
I now see your life, your early childhood experiences you are implementing there in secondary school. Where were you there?
No, this is the John Jama was talking to the students.
Wow, encouraging them.
Encouraging and giving them a motivational talk.
Exactly. Next, please. What was that? Next, please. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Taku, for reckoning your life pathway. Please may you narrate to us your secondary school life in brief.
Yeah, I began in Cameroon College of Arts and Science, that's Kaskumba.
Yes.
Yes, I did from 1 to 3. When my father was moved to Monemba as Inspector of Education, I was forced to go with him. So I had my O-levels in GHS Mondemba.
Exactly.
And we used to call in Manja. And from there on, I came to BHS in Lower 6.
Exactly.
Did Lower 6 and Upper 6 in BHS. That's briefly my secondary school experience.
Who were your models in secondary school?
In secondary school, my models had Mr. Hadison Luma, who was our principal at the time. He's in Limbe. Mr. Hadison Luma, I hope he's watching me.
Wow.
He was a disciplinarian.
Wow.
He never spared the rod.
And spoiled the child.
Yes, and whenever you got that whip from him, you know, it was a nightmare that you had to do. He was our mentor, and he's become a friend. And when I had after my first degree, he recruited me to teach in Seka.
That's good.
So
what were some of the values he inculcated in you, sir?
Discipline.
So what? Work. Okay, looking at our Cameroonian youths, some of them are involved in cyber criminality. Some of them are involved in other deviant behavior. Some of them have given up. Some of them have ambition of becoming university dons. Some of them have ambitions of becoming engineers. Some of them have ambition of becoming medical doctors. Some of them have ambition of becoming artists. So you, looking at your life journey, looking at your life milestone, how can you encourage these youth to achieve their life dreams?
Yeah, I will say there are no two pathways to success. There are no two pathways to success. What is clear is that as soon as you identify what you want to become, the next thing to do is abstinence, sacrifice. You bend down your head and only lift it up when you must have achieved that goal. What is wrong with our youth today is that they want to do everything at the same time. You cannot be in secondary school and you are running behind girls.
Wow.
You are in bars drinking alcohol. You can't make it. Or you are into cyber criminality. As soon as you make any money which cannot be justified, which is free money, you know, you are derailed. And in terms of material things, those things will come when you achieve your dream in life. So for now, as long as you are on that path in search of greatness, you don't have to look left or right. Just pray that you have people who are out there to support you. If you don't have people who are there to support you, you can support yourself. While we were in UB, we had this boy who would get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and do what we call British cake. He would do at least for 5,000 francs. And when he comes to class, we'll make sure that we buy everything from him. He paid his school fees for 3 years. And when he graduated, he was recruited by Guinness.
Wow.
And when we worked with Guinness for 2 years and won this American lottery. He got married, he's now in America.
Wow.
But he did British pay. He used to tell me, my brother, I get up at 4 a.m. at times, 5, and fry. A boy. So I don't think some students will say my parents are not taking care of me. They are not giving my school fees. No. You can sell banana. You can sell granules while in school. We're so proud of him, a handsome young man. But we make sure that we encourage him. That those who sell pens, who sell pencils, who sell books, exercise books in class, you can do all of that to pay your school fees. Wow. And you will not be disappointed. I think they used to sit up. I've seen many of them fight with their parents. I've seen many of them fight with uncles, disown their relatives because they have not paid their school fees. No, there are many things they can do while in school to meet up their needs.
In secondary school, sir, did you encounter any psychosocial stress, any painful moments that you almost gave up?
I passed through secondary school. I had, as I said, we had Mr. Mbile Nobed. We used to nickname him Rambo. We had a nice time with our teachers and discipline master. He was our discipline master in GHS Monemba. He disciplined us with love. Wow. I talked about Mr. Hadison Luma. He disciplined us with love. We knew that he loved us. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We knew that this punishment was out for our own good.
Exactly.
So, the punishments we had, the sanctions we had as students, we took them smiling. It was fun. And that's why we are what we are today, most of us who went through the hands of those guys. So I had no traumatic experience. It was fun.
What are some of the most challenging moments in your life?
Yeah, one of the most challenging moments of my life was when I was going to Ibadan for research. I left Cameroon. I hadn't the means to pay a flight at the time. I just left Economa University. I left the Higher Teachers Training College. We used to call it Economa Yaoundé. Mm-hmm. And I decided to go to Nigeria for research. And I took Fako ship from Limbe. We went to Nigeria, got to Nigeria safe. In 3 hours, we're in Calabar. And I spent 2 weeks in Ibadan. When I was going to Ibadan, I met a Yoruba guy who sat by me. He told me we're going to get to Ibadan very late and the university will be closed. But I'm going to take you home. Boy, he took me to his house. I didn't know him,
Mm-hmm. You had never seen him before?
I never seen him before. That night I didn't sleep. I was just,
the fear was there.
Just scared that, some people will come and maybe kill me or, I was scared that night. Early in the morning, I got up. He took me to the University of Ibadan and told me, this is the University of Ibadan, good luck. On our way back, I took Fako ship again. When we got into the ship, somewhere into the sea, pirates attacked us.
Wow.
They shot at the ship. There was some commotion. I came out and met the captain, and asked him what happened. He said pirates attacked us. And it was traumatic. When I went to SN Duisburg, I cut short my stay for 3 days because I had to collect books from one professor, Scott Slovich, who was coming from France. So he made a stop at the Frankfurt airport. So I had to meet him in Frankfurt airport to collect those books.
Exactly.
So when he handed those books to me, he took the next flight to France. My flight was programmed in 3 days. Where do I stay in Frankfurt? I had to spend a night in the airport.
Spend a night in the airport?
Yes, moving from one end of the airport to another. I just had to change position so that the police would not,
How did that experience shape you?
What happened was that when I stayed in the airport, while I was in China, I made friends with another professor in Germany, Alfred Onun. So I just said, what do I do? I was smiling from one spot of the airport to another. And, it was so interesting. You could stay there, but I had to spend the night. The following day, I called him. He said, where are you, young man? I said, I'm in Frankfurt airport. He said, okay, stay there. I'm coming to pick you up. So he came with the wife and picked me up and lodged me in their guest house
Wow.
in the University of Frankfurt. I was there for 2 nights. He paid my bills, everything, and took me to the airport.
So are you saying that painful experiences makes us strong in life to attain our life goals?
I want to say that it's been, I want to say that one of my mentors is Jesus Christ.
Amen.
He lived for 33 years, but saved mankind.
Okay.
I want to say that whatever my those traumatic moments were my best moments.
Okay.
I remember when I was in high school, and I went to the top of the mountain. We trekked from BHS to Mount Fako.
Really?
I was the only one in that group. The rest, most of them ended at Hot 2.
Okay.
One of them followed me to Hot 3.
Wow.
And came back, he gave up. I said, I cannot get to Mount Fako without getting to the summit.
I've discovered that you have that burning desire to always attain goal, and you're a peace lover. Do you know why? I used to know you when I was a student in the University of Buea. By then, I was not yet Dr. Busi. By then, when they would see this student union OPSU,
Wow.
and when they wanted to attack Professor P.K. Titanji, you were always there blocking the central administration for peace. And I knew you, Professor, and you go to higher height for
Yeah, not
peace.
only Professor P.K. Titanji that I had to talk to the students. I used to tell them my experience that no, it's not all war. It's not all war. You can get what you want as students without disrespecting, without violence. And I remember when they even attacked the Minister of Secondary Higher Education at the time, the Minister of Secondary, Nalova. I mean, I was at the forefront,
saw you.
Blocking the car.
By then, I was a student.
Yes, blocking the car from us. As I said, it's been, peace has
It's
been...
because of the disciplinarian values that you gain from your parents. True of us?
Yes, but as I said, my father never spared the rod. Yes, he never spared the rod.
So are you saying that our parents should parent their children from early childhood to always discipline their children?
Yeah.
Must they do that by beating?
Yes, you
By beating?
You can beat.
At times?
I was never angry with my father for beating me. I was happy because he used the whip, and at the same time he told me why
Exactly.
he was doing that.
Exactly.
And he told me, I'm doing this for your own good. You know, you can beat with love.
Okay.
You don't beat with anger and wickedness. Some people
Okay.
beat to harm,
Okay.
which is wrong.
Okay, so may you narrate to us in a nutshell your university life, where you went to from teacher training college to from your first degree to PhD, the schools you attended, and what were the gaps you closed?
Yeah, when I left the University of Buea in 1996, first batch, I was supposed to be one of I was supposed to be the first batch master student. But I sat and I told my father that, look, Dad, I don't want to continue with masters.
Exactly.
I want to go into the professional world.
Wow.
I want to make money and then come back and continue with my masters and PhD.
Exactly.
He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do film and cinematography. He said, where do you want to study?
Film and cinematography.
Yeah, I told
Wow.
him I'd like to study
That's
in Russia.
innovative.
I told him I'd like to study in Russia. He said, Russia? And in those days we had these free visas.
Wow.
It was free. Flight to Russia was very affordable.
Exactly.
So when I went to Moscow, I went to the film school, I was admitted.
Wow.
But we had a meeting with the staff, and they told us that Russia is moving from communism to capitalism, and they have a lot of financial difficulties. So we will expect our parents to pay our fees. The fees were close to about 3 million francs
Per year?
per year. And I told them that, look, honestly, my parents cannot raise 3 million francs a year to pay those fees. And they said, what do you do? I said, I'm going back. Some of my friends said, no, let's cross over to Germany.
You had a dream and you wanted to go back.
Yes,
No,
you have already arrived in Europe. Why are you going back? Let's go to Ukraine. Let's go to Germany.
Exactly.
Some say, let's go to Britain. I said, no, I'm going back. I came here to study. If I cannot study, I'm going back.
So you came back home?
Even my elder sister was angry that I came back.
You came back
after
home?
11 months. I did the Russian language, and I came back. I took Aeroflot.
Without achieving that dream.
I
So
came
are
back.
you telling us that when you have a goal to cash, you come back to give up?
No. I'm H.O.D in the department.
We want to see how you navigated
Good.
and attended that
So
goal of
when
cinematography.
I came back, I said, okay, I would like to go. I told my father I would like to get into one of these professional schools. and I chose Higher Teachers Training College Yaoundé, ENS Yaoundé. My dream for going there was to get a job.
Exactly.
And to have a salary.
Exactly.
And this salary, my mission with this salary was to do what? To now sponsor myself for the masters and PhD. And that's what I did.
Exactly.
When I graduated from ENS, I went back to university. And it was fun paying my fees from my salary.
Exactly.
And carrying out my research from my salary.
Wow.
You know, I've advised many young people, at times you can have a break. Stop, do a training, get some money, and then go back to school. That's what I did. So when I left the university in 96, I only came back to the university again in 2002 to do the masters. You know, in those who have the day, had the day masters with thesis testimonial. And I want to say that my first salary, they call it Grolo,
yes,
from ENS.
Yes.
My friend said, buy a plot in Yaoundé. Some said, some use the money to buy a plot. I said, no, I'm going to use the money to do my research.
Wow.
And that's what took me to Nigeria. That's what I used to go to Nigeria.
Okay.
And
that skills it.
And you know, went to the library. When I went to the library, I had much on theater, not on film.
Oh.
For film, I had to go to China. It was in China that I had much on film and comics because
wow.
I did my PhD adapting the oral tales, the Cameroonian oral tales to plays, movies, and comics. So I got a lot of material from China for comics.
Wow.
Then I had much in Germany for film. And my research took me close to 13 million francs.
13 million. How did you raise such a money?
I want to use this opportunity. It's not publicity. This is where I got the source of the money from Tarikum Cooperative Credit Union. It's not publicity.
You borrowed?
That's where my salary was sent to.
Okay.
So each time I would go to the bank manager and said, okay, I'm going to China. I'm going to Germany. I need 3 million francs. They'll give me a loan.
Wow.
And by the time I'm going to China, I went back. They said, no, you still have to, you have not paid the 3 million francs. You still have about 1 million. I said, okay, no. They said, we have this facility of refinancing.
Exactly.
I said, okay, I need 3 more millions. And that is how I kept studying and taking loans from that particular bank. And as I said, it's not publicity to the management of Tarikum.
Exactly.
That I am what I am today thanks to that bank. They gave me a lot of financial support.
So are you saying that in life, when you want to attain a goal, you should be a risk bearer?
I want to say it's even more than a risk bearer because when I took faculship, the experience I had in the sea, high sea, traveling from Calabar to Ibadan by bus, that is on top speed.
Yes.
Getting to Ibadan in the night, I want to say that my philosophy in life is what? When you want to be a great person, do not be scared with what is out there or what awaits you.
Are you saying that when there are blocks out there, don't be afraid of the mental blocks, don't be afraid of the physical blocks, don't be afraid of the emotional blocks and the psychological blocks?
Because if I died traveling from Calabar to Ibadan, I would have died as a hero.
Why?
Because I was out for a mission to empower myself to master the skills which I'm now imparting to my students and to the nation.
And finally, you got your PhD.
Yes. So when I got my PhD, I was recruited without a PhD.
Really?
Yes.
That's good.
I was recruited with when I'd already done. In those days, even in university, you can be recruited without.
Yes, without. I know.
So you have to show proof that
you are doing a PhD.
You are doing a PhD and you've gone so far.
So you had your PhD what year?
I had my PhD in 1996.
Where?
In Yaoundé one.
Okay, that's good.
And as I said, it was a difficult moment going through the research because I took a very challenging area, and my PhD was hands-on.
Okay, so you are a doctor par excellence, a doctor to reckon with, the pioneer, head of department in visual and performing arts in the University of Buea, Faculty of Arts, the Department of Performing Arts, Dr. Taku. Dr. Taku, I want you to explain to us your professional life.
My professional
life? Before explaining to us your professional life, let me know your models and mentors in higher education.
Yeah.
Who are your models and mentors in higher education, and how have they helped you?
Yeah, I'll begin with Chief Professor Noel Alembo.
Exactly.
He's the one who held my hand to get me admitted for a master's program in Yaoundé University 1. He encouraged me and told me, Victor, the sky is your limit. Welcome to the Department of African Literatures and Civilizations. And he actually supervised my master's thesis.
He's a great man.
And when I decided to go professional, because I decided to go professional in my research.
Exactly.
And one of those who encouraged me, he encouraged me to go professional. I will have Professor Bangwana,
wow,
who is also an emeritus professor. He also encouraged me to go professional. We have Professor Binam Bikoy. He is the director of Sedotola.
Wow.
Center for Research in African Languages and Cultures in Yaoundé. It's an international body.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. Doctor, those people mentored you. How have you been able to mentor other young Cameroonians in the university? How have you been able to mentor them in terms of teaching, research, and outreach?
Yeah.
How many publications do you have? How many research students have you been able to mentor for them to have their masters and so on and their undergraduate and PhD?
Yes, I want to say that the Department of Performing and Visual Arts runs an undergraduate program, and I want to say that the students in that particular, those who have graduated, most of them are either they are all employed.
Exactly.
And when they come in, I tell them, you are not coming to look to what you call to graduate as a job seeker. I'm training you to graduate as a job creator.
Wow.
And even if you have to go out and work, you work with multinationals. So many of them are with MTN.
That's great.
Orange, Brasseries, Guinness. As you know, in performing and visual arts, we teach them how to do publicity, animation. Some of them are into publicity. Some of them are into animation. And I want to tell you that all of them are doing, all of them who graduated from the department are doing great.
So,
and thanks, and always tell them, you have come to the department not to graduate and go around begging for jobs.
In terms of your publications, what are some of your publications, and how are they innovative in your field?
Yes, most of my publications are my first publication.
And I want to ask you also, before you answer that, sir, are your publications meeting the needs of cinematography in Cameroon of today?
Yes, theater and cinema.
Cinematography.
Yes, I have done, my first publication was theater therapy.
Exactly. Explain to us.
How you can use theater as a therapy, mental therapy.
Wow.
To heal the sick.
True?
Yes.
Wow.
To you know how you can, you know, we call it theater and inclusive education.
Exactly.
How you could use theater to help those who are blind, make them lively, those who are deaf and dumb. You know, how to use theater to make them feel a sense
of belonging
again, you know, and this is work miracle. I mean, I've had an opportunity to work with the disability,
persons with disability.
No, persons with calling persons with disability
or impairment and so on.
We don't want to
stigmatize anyone. Exactly.
And when you use role play, they become happy. They become the participants.
Role play and the dramatization.
We dramatize, you know, we give them roles, we get them involved with those who are normal to play, to act. You know, I've done that. I have done research on Pala Pala.
Wow.
The Pala Pala wrestling competition. I've looked at the impact of Western civilization on Pala Pala. I've published an article on that.
And how can you contextualize Pala Pala bringing to us unity? Because when I go to Buea town, I used to see them still doing Pala Pala, but go to urban centers, people don't do Pala Pala again. How can our children inculcate such skills again?
Yes, we have to encourage the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education to invest on that particular domain.
Exactly.
To make it international, like the Senegalese are doing. You know, it's international. People are making millions out of sports. It's so natural. I saw a lot of, as I say, unity, bringing the villages around Buea together. But my worry was the fact that, you know, some of those traditional patterns, the sanja that used to be worn, it's now being replaced with modern shots.
You are talking about play. Play is all about recreation.
Yes.
And can people make their life a meaningful life in dramatization?
Yes, I want to say that we have what we call many plays.
Exactly.
You ask me, can people make their lives
Meaningful life.
meaningful life?
We'll come there.
I want to tell you.
Explain. Just show them even.
Yes, I want to tell you that in 2017,
Explain.
I was invited by CRTV.
Wow. Explain to us some of your audios and your videos in.
I was invited by CRTV to do 24 radio plays in a year.
Wow. Name some of these plays.
We have Boss Love. This is Boss Love.
What's Boss Love all about,
Boss
sir?
Love is a play, recounting the life of a young lady who met a young man in a bus. And by the time they got to Bamenda, she has already fallen in love.
Really?
But not knowing that the guy, is what we call a culprit. He was escaping from the arm of the law.
Wow.
So by the time they got to Bamenda, they alighted from the bus, they were all arrested. It was then that she realized that the person she had fallen in love in that bus was a criminal.
You are doing a great job, sir. Right on.
And you have red marks. Red marks, they play against sexually transmissible marks.
Which is common in most universities.
In secondary schools.
Secondary schools, yeah.
And the play was done as a radio play. And the following year, I had to adapt it for stage.
So you are doing theory and practice in the university.
No, not theory. That's
That's why I'm saying that you are doing theory and practice.
Yes, so I had to adapt it into a play, Red Marks, which was published by Notion Press in India.
So what's Red Marks?
Red Marks is a play, as I said, it's the same play which I did as radio.
Are you the playwright?
I'm the playwright. Yeah,
Wow.
you find it TV Jong. My pen name is TV, Taku Victor Jong.
Wow.
My pen name is TV Jong.
Wow.
And this play was launched in the University of Buea, and it has impacted.
You also have what they call Colo Police about corruption. Can you explain to us what you call Colo Police? Colo Police.
It's not Colo Police. It's a play.
It's
Radio play. I did.
a radio play.
Yes, called Colo.
Okay, Colo. Nkolo.
Colo.
Okay.
They call him this Douala Mboko.
Okay, it's in Boko talk.
Colo means 1,000.
1,000 francs. Yeah, okay, I now see.
So it's a play that was done, to
About corruption?
about the it had to do with the police.
Exactly.
Some intelligent and duty-conscious police officers fighting this particular crime in the police force.
You also did one on Operation Sparrowhawk.
Yeah, I did a radio play, Sparrowhawk, to support government's action against corruption in Cameroon. That's the title. Then I did Robbers of Electricity. This is to support a new, to fight against those who steal current.
And it's happening. It's
Yes,
happening. It's
and
happening.
The effect of doing that.
Are you saying that you are a fulfilled person?
I'm not a fulfilled person because I still have much to do for the community in terms of outreach. Because as I said, my research has to do with teaching research and outreach. I have a project. There are many of our legends, our tales. In most villages, you have a tale, you have a myth.
Exactly.
You have legends, you have these folk tales, which are dying out because the old people who used to narrate those tales are not, they're also, they are getting older and dying.
So how can you inculcate that in our culture back?
So what we are planning to do as a team is to get people, or I'm going to make a call to anybody in Cameroon, any tribe, renowned or resource persons anywhere. If you have any tale which is threatening,
okay, so you have a lot of skills.
We'll adapt them either for plays, movies, or comics.
So you have a lot of skills. That's the truth. And you are a professor. And Dr. Taku, I want to find out, why is it that cinematography, film acting, artwork is not great in Cameroon today?
Wow.
Go to our neighboring Nigeria.
Wow.
Nollywood is one of the best TV, one of the best movie houses in Africa.
Wow.
You as a professor, as head of department for visual art, what is your role to improve on cinematography and film acts in Cameroon so that we can sit back home and watch our own films, not only watching Nigerian films, so that we can buy our own films, we can buy our own CDs and so on, sir?
Thank you for that question. I was attending a movie premiere yesterday, produced by one of my staff, Dr. Teke Nelson. And I was privileged to give a talk. I told them, I'm happy with your project, but there's a reason why we are not making it. You have one. This is a free lesson I'm giving to all our filmmakers and producers out there. You have the script. That's the conception, the story you want to tell or narrate. Secondly, you have what you call the script or the film proposal. That is like a project, what you intend, what that movie wants to attain, the mission of that particular movie. It has to be designed. We call it a script proposal. Then you have what we call a film treatment. This film treatment tells your potential sponsor what he's going to gain from that particular movie. Once you have that, don't forget, I told them, you have to create a film company registered with the Ministry of Commerce and with the Ministry of Culture. Officially created with your taxpayer's card. It should not be a company in your suitcase, no. When you have your film script proposal, your film treatments, you now have bodies out there all over the world, Britain, America, Japan, that you now write to them and tell them that you have this great story to tell. And tell them your budget. Excuse me.
Sorry?
You give them your budget. Now they will tell you, fine, you have a great mission. From your proposal, from your treatment, it will tell them whether if they should invest in it. I have a young man, when he came to me, I told him, come with his film script treatment, a proposal. He came. We did everything, and he wrote to some producers abroad. He got one in the United States. And it got to a point where he was sent an invitation letter to come and explain his movie to that group.
Wow, that's good.
And when he went to the American embassy for a visa, they asked him to present himself. He gave his business license, his taxpayer's card. They had to verify if his company was legalized. And when they saw that it was legalized, they saw that he was a bona fide citizen who had a mission. They looked at his film proposal. Everything was clear. They looked at the treatment. It was explicit. They gave him a visa.
Okay, so
I want to tell you,
our time is running out. Let me ask you this last question. You are the head of department for performing arts in the University of Buea. A head of department, the pioneer head of department. I want to ask you, you have reckoned your life pathway here that has been very positive. You're a model, you're a mentor, you're a coach, you're a disciplinarian, and you have skills. And I want to ask you, my problem is, how can you, professor, help our young scholars to gain life skills in cinematography that can make them to become legend after 3 years or 4 years, that can make them to become movie stars and producers and directors, so that they gain employability, so that we will not continue watching Nigerian movies. We have to make our own brand. We want our brand. How can we make our brand so that our children sit back at home and watch Cameroonian movies? From a scholastic perspective, you are already in the field, you have the research gateway. How can you do this so that it becomes practice, so that we love our own movies?
Yeah, that is why we had to create this department exists. And this department runs a Bachelor of Arts in Performing Arts, and our students are trained how to act, how to direct movies, how to write scripts, how to edit, how to produce. We also have a professional Bachelor of Arts in film and television documentary production. It's hands-on. And those who come into that particular section do what they produce movies, as part of their practicals. and these movies are out, they're sold, they meet international norms and standards. And I want to say that most of them are already in the industry. And
do we have a Cameroon movie industry?
We have one.
Why just one?
No, it's an industry, it's a company. There are many companies under that particular umbrella. Yes.
I want us, how are we going to make our own industries unique? You are a scholar that those who are pragmatic, doing it out there, they look up to you. How we have now that department in the University of Buea. You have reckoned your life. What will be your legacy? What will be the imprint that you will put so that cinematography in Cameroon can be great?
Yes, I am writing a book, how to write, produce, and market your script.
Wow.
And this book should be out by March.
That's great.
And we're planning a number of seminars. I want to make sure that I attend some of these movie premieres to have workshops coming up to educate our young filmmakers, our young actors, how they can make a living out of their skills.
Mr. H.O.D, give your last words and advice to young Cameroonians briefly.
Yes, I want to advise young Cameroonians that the government cannot employ everybody. I want to encourage them to go in for life skills, to be creative, to go in for programs that will help them meet their dreams, programs that can help them, create jobs, programs that can help them come out as entrepreneurs, programs that can help them start earning a living and employing others.
Thank you very much, the head of department for the Department of Visual Art in the University of Buea, by name Dr. Taku. Dr. Taku, you are a force to reckon with, because I've observed you over time and space as a humble gentleman, a selfless gentleman, an intelligent gentleman. Welcome, Dr. Taku, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you.